Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Mimo here. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers the Movie Studio Series 86 Coronation Starscream. I gotta admit, I'm not one to typically pick up repaints of a character, but I think that what really swayed me was, well, one, my 6-year-old had stolen my Starscream, and two, he comes with quite a few accessories. Well, first we're going to take a look at the box. We do have some amazing artwork on the front from him in the coronation scene in the movie. Looks really good. On the side, just him again. On the back, you've got your product shots, 29 steps, some pictures of the accessories, and a close-up. Looks awesome. This is the first package that I've obtained anyway that doesn't have any plastic, so they are definitely keeping their word about reducing the plastic in their packaging. So that's awesome. But we're not here for boxes. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what he has in store for us. Alright, and here is everything that he comes with. You've got actually two sets of null rays. These are the standard null rays that came with the original, sculpted nicely enough. And then you have a secondary set. They're very similar, except the sculpting on the back is not there any longer, and they have a much shorter peg, as you can see. The one with the blue is for the coronation set. The one with the gray is for without. Both nicely done. You do get the two shoulder pads done in a purple plastic with some very nice gold accents. We'll show how these work in a little bit, but they do look good. You do have his cape done in a very light purple. Almost looks pink on camera, but it's a very, very light purple. It does peg in here, and it's nicely sculpted with waves in the fabric. And it does expand on a series of hinges. So it's got some posability to it, which is very, very nice. Comes with his crown, which looks amazing with gold paint and red accents. Very, very nicely detailed all the way around. It looks fabulous. And then we also, of course, have his throne, which looks superb. To be honest, you've got a very nice Decepticon symbol there at the top. Wonderful sculpt throughout. Going down the side, I've got a nice sprue mark on mine right there. Just all done in a nice purple plastic. It looks amazing. One nice bonus, if you choose to do so, you can actually store every single one of his accessories on the back of the throne. Let me take the cape off. And there we go. You can see his crown, his null rays, and if you look deep down in here, there's two pegs. You can utilize those to store the second set of null rays as well as his shoulder pads. So that's a nice touch. So let's take a look at the figure. He does look really good in my opinion. Taking a look at that nice silver face with red eyes. It looks good. Coming down the chest, you've got that beautiful, brilliant red and silver paint. Orange transparent there for the cockpit. Looking at the detail on the arms. Sculpted detail everywhere on this guy. And I have to say, I think that the detail is more pronounced or sharper than the previous release, and we'll compare them here in a minute. But coming down the legs, beautiful blue paint on the shins, a lot more sculpted detail. Nice bright blue tail fins. Beautiful silver metallic on the feet. Sculpted detail throughout. And what's that doing there? Going around the back. More sculpted detail. Looking good. You got the bright red here on the tip of the intakes. As far as articulation, head is on a ball, so you can get quite a bit down, a little bit up, and a little bit of attitude, which is nice. The wings do articulate. You can move them forward, up and down a little bit, and you can also fold them back if you want. So that's good to see. Arms can do a full rotation if the wings weren't in the way, of course. Can go up to there. Definitely a bicep rotation, upper bicep. You've got a little more than 90 on the elbow bend. The hands are fixed, so they get no rotation. You get some up and down due to transformation. But one new addition is the posable hands on this character, which is nice. There's only one pin, but it does give you the ability to open and close the hand. No waist rotation, which is a disappointment. The single hip skirt does go up, giving you the ability to kick up that far. You can go out that far, and no back, just because of the backpack. As far as the knee, you do get 90 degrees. And for the feet, your toe can go up and down as well as your heel. And you do have a very nice rocker to get you about that far. So, lacking a little bit of articulation, but still an amazing sculpt. And the paint that is there, mainly the red, is wonderfully done. All right, so let's take a look at the two releases side by side. So the first thing that jumped out to me was the difference in coloration of the heads. Where on the original, which is on the left, it is a black head, but on the Studio Series, it's actually a gray, a very deep gray. So they did change the color of the head. The face also, if we can get them side by side, it's hard to say, it's hard to see, but the silver on the face of the Studio Series is darker than the silver on the original. Very minute difference, but you can still see it. Another thing too is the coloration of the red. You can see on the Studio Series, it's darker, brighter here, and like I said, all the detail on the wings, all of it seems to be a lot more clear, precise, and more visible on the Studio Series. You of course have a bigger and darker Decepticon emblem, which is nice. If you notice the blues, they've got a lighter blue on the Studio Series, and then of course you have the posable hands, which is a new addition. Coming down, again, you see that difference in the blues. On the original, there's silver here on the shins, but not on the Studio Series. So they've chosen not to paint those in this point. Looking at the feet, you'll notice the red and white are gone off of the tail fins, which is somewhat of a bummer, to be honest. That to me is, it's typical Starscream. That's what you expect. And then they've gone and removed it. So that is disappointing. Minor differences that do really, in my opinion, in some cases improve the Studio Series. But changes that they've made have definitely taken away from it as well. If I could figure out a way to put these fins on here, I would definitely do it. And come on, Toy Hacks, let's get some labels for this guy. So let's get him ready for his coronation, shall we? Alright, first thing we're going to bring in is his cape. Now, again, it is flexible, So go ahead and fold it up. That puts your peg right in the middle. Come to the back, lift up his canopy, and plug that guy in. And there we go. Now you can bring it out to the side. Gives you a nice blowing in the wind feel. You can just have it center, such as this, or you can pivot it and do a combination. You can even have it blowing behind him. So nicely done, to be honest. The way that the null rays work is you want to bring in the shoulder pad and the blue handled null ray. You'll see this pink flexible tab here. Just plug this guy in and it'll hang like that. You still get a lot of mobility with it, but it's nice, definitely. And then the way that you attach them is you have these pegs on the side and they simply go in the holes in the shoulder. Like so. So we'll go ahead and bring in our other one. Exactly the same. Alright, and the final and most important piece is going to be his crown, which does fasten very securely. That is a nice fit. It doesn't affect articulation. You still do get the full 360. You can pull the arms all the way out, and the null rays do go along with it, which is nice. I mean, they're two different pivot points, but they look really good. I do like how they attach them to the shoulder pads rather than the arms. I think that it's a nice touch. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely get some very nice, very screen accurate poses out of the character. And he just looks superb. So this is somewhat of a frustrating part. I cannot, and I'm sure other people are having the same issue, I can't really get him to sit in his throne very well. He's always got this look as though he's getting ready to stand up, because the sculpt has him sitting on the two tabs on his backpack. So it's nice that they included it, but they should have put some indentations in the seat so that he can actually sit in it properly. So let's get him through transformation, shall we? First thing you want to do is take care of his arms. You can go ahead and bring the hands up, pop these panels out, making sure that this gray piece stays flat. Go ahead and bring this section down and close it back up, and make sure the hand is folded up. Do the same on the other side. Once you have the arms squared away, you want to come here. I like to pull on these tabs just to give it a little help. And go ahead and pop the chest forward. Swing the wings back. Bring the canopy up. Rotate this around. And make the connection in the back. At this point, you can go ahead and rotate your arms in. Close this up. Come down to your legs. Bring this down. Spin this up. Push your foot down, your heel down, and bring these back up, pegging into the side of the leg. sure you've all seen this before. Go ahead and bring your tail down. Once again, tilt, pivot, peg in, toe down. Now we can go ahead and connect our legs. Bring the front of the leg down. Fasten the back of the leg to the backpack. Fold your wings out. And attach them like so. And there we go. Oh, close the legs, bring that back down. I'll get him cleaned up and we'll take a look at him. Here we have Studio Series 86 Starscream in his alt mode. And nothing new here, really. Well, there is actually something new. Never mind. Some nice, more in-depth detail cutting, if that makes sense. The embossment or the sculpting appears to be a lot sharper and cleaner. But he looks good all around. View from the side, definitely a robot hiding in there. Once again, you've got the missing red and white lines on the tail. This is a new addition, the silver panels here. But everything on the back is the same, except for the coloration differences. And we'll bring in the original for comparison. There you can see the color difference with the blue being darker on the original. And I'm gonna try and see if I can show you what I mean as far as the detail difference. It's a lot sharper on the new one as opposed to the old one. And if I'm not wrong, I believe the gray here on the main portion is just plastic, but here I believe it has been painted. Doesn't have that shiny hue that typical plastic does. The wings, I think, had always been painted in that gray. Brighter red on the lines again. Subtle differences for the most part, but there we go. So, final thoughts on Hasbro's Studio Series 86 Coronation Starscream. As far as the bot goes, they have made some improvements with the added articulation in the fingers and the more defined detail. It is nice. It's a nice addition. But they did take away some of the key points. Mainly, the thing that I'm concerned about is the lack of the red and white stripe on the tail fins. Some people may see it as minor, but for me, that's somewhat of a defining character trait from the 80s. I think it should be there, regardless of whether or not it appeared in every single episode of the cartoon. Other than that, I mean, the set honestly could have been released as an add-on set or accessory pack, something along those lines. I think that Hasbro really is doing a money grab with this guy, even though I do enjoy it. That reminds me, I need to get my first copy back to my son before he notices it's gone. But I just think that there were cheaper, more affordable ways to get this out there, but they wanted to get the Coronation Starscream out. Anyhow, despite how I feel about it, I did find mine at Walmart. If you already have the original, I can't recommend picking it up. But if you don't have one, like me anymore, then yeah, I can recommend this guy. It's nice to have at least one in your collection. and why not have it come with the added gimmick of the Coronation set? So, happy hunting. With all that being said, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. These are 3 easy steps that you can do in order to help my channel grow. I hope to see you again next time.